Picture this for a second. You just signed the paperwork on a brand new 4x4. The sticker came in at $70,000. You wrote a check for the sales tax, the dealer markup, the documentation fee, all of it. The title clerk handed you a piece of paper with your name typed across the top. A few months go by, and winter shows up. You are standing at your kitchen window with the coffee in your hand. You press the remote start button on the key fob, the way you have done dozens of times already. The truck stays quiet. You pull out your phone, open the manufacturer's app, and a red banner is waiting for you. Your remote connectivity subscription has expired. The vehicle is parked 30 feet away. The fuel tank is full. The engine works. The title still has your name on it. And a corporation you stopped paying last month is the reason the engine will not start. This is not a malfunction. This is the new product. Welcome to the era of software-defined ownership, where the best-selling vehicle in America has quietly turned into a long-term lease wrapped in sheet metal. In the next few minutes, we are going to walk through what your money actually buys when you sign at the dealership. We are going to look at who still controls the truck after you drive it home. And we are going to follow the road this trend is on, all the way to where it ends if no one pushes back. Inside the driver's seat of your truck, right now, there is a heating coil. A real one. A copper resistance wire wrapped around a heating element, stitched directly into the foam beneath the upholstery. The factory installed it on the assembly line. The build sheet listed it. Your invoice covered the cost of it. But on a growing number of new vehicles, that coil is no longer wired to the switch on your dashboard. It is wired to a server. Back in 2022, BMW rolled out a program in several markets that asked owners to pay $18 a month to activate their heated front seats. Not as a future upgrade, not as an optional accessory. The heating elements were already in the foam. The wiring harness was already routed through the chassis. The control module was already installed. BMW had simply placed a digital lock on hardware the customer had already purchased and asked them to pay rent every month for permission to remove it. The public reaction was loud enough that BMW walked the program back in several regions. But the framework stayed on the books. And here is the part that almost nobody mentioned out loud. You are still hauling that hardware down the road every mile you drive. The wiring weighs something. The coils weigh something. The control modules weigh something. You burn extra fuel to carry equipment you are forbidden from using. You paid the manufacturing cost the day you signed. You pay the weight penalty every time you fill up the tank. And on top of that, you are asked to pay a monthly fee for the privilege of switching it on. The automakers found a way to collect rent on hardware bolted inside something you already hold the title to. The consent for all of it sits buried in a digital service agreement you scrolled past in 17 seconds at the finance desk. If you are currently paying a monthly fee to use a feature on a vehicle you legally own, drop it in the comments below. The automakers are counting on each of us feeling like an isolated case. While you are down there, hit subscribe. Every week, we run the kind of audit on the dealership that the dealership is never going to run for you. Now let us talk specifically about pickup trucks. Toyota spent decades building a reputation among working-class drivers based on quiet, reliable, no-nonsense engineering, which is exactly why what the company started doing on its connected vehicles lands harder than it should. Beginning in 2018, Toyota rolled out a subscription requirement for remote engine start on a growing list of connected models. This is not satellite navigation. This is not the emergency SOS button on the rearview mirror. This is the small black plastic remote sitting on your kitchen counter. The fob is powered by a coin battery. It transmits a short-range radio signal, roughly 30 feet, to a receiver mounted inside the truck. There is no satellite in the equation. There is no cell tower. There is no data center on the other end of the country. The fob is a battery-operated radio transmitter, and the receiver is a small piece of electronics that listens for the signal and tells the engine to crank. Toyota looked at that simple exchange and decided it was worth a monthly fee. When the subscription lapses, the fob still clicks. The receiver still hears it. The only thing standing between the signal and the engine is a software flag set deliberately by the manufacturer and lifted only once the payment clears. Ford built the same arrangement into the Ford Pass remote start system. The hardware is bolted in and the function is fully operational. The monthly fee is the permission slip. Together, Ford and Toyota account for roughly 1 out of every 4 pickup trucks sold in this country. This is not a small experiment at the edge of the industry. This is the direction the entire sector is moving, and it accelerates every quarter. The subscription revenue shows up clean on the earnings call. But heated seats and key fobs are only the opening move. Mercedes-Benz currently offers an option on certain of its electric vehicles called acceleration increase. For around $1,200 per year, the owner is granted access to the full output of the electric motor that came with the car. The motor is already in the vehicle. The full horsepower exists in the hardware right now. Mercedes-Benz placed a software cap on it at the factory and is now collecting a yearly fee to release the throttle on a motor you already paid for in full. Now follow that logic out to its destination. In 2023, Ford filed a patent describing a connected vehicle system capable of doing several things to a delinquent borrower. The system could disable the air conditioning. It could restrict the top speed. It could lock the doors from the outside. In the most striking section of the document, it could instruct the vehicle to drive itself back to the repossession lot with no one behind the wheel. The truck self-repossesses. This is not a fictional scenario. This is a real patent, drafted by Ford attorneys, reviewed by the Patent Office, and registered as protected intellectual property. The stated purpose is recovering collateral from borrowers who have fallen behind on a loan. That is a real problem lenders face, no argument. But the system that enables autonomous repossession also enables everything sitting upstream of it. A platform that can lock your doors and drive the truck away can do so because a connected service subscription lapsed. A platform that can throttle your top speed for missed payments can do the same when you decline an optional renewal. You are no longer the owner of the vehicle. You are the operator of a machine whose full functionality depends on your standing with a corporate server. There is a reason a clean 2006 Chevrolet Silverado with 150,000 miles on the odometer is selling for more than the depreciation chart says it should. There is a reason a 1999 Ford F-250 with a diesel engine is bringing prices that would have looked ridiculous 10 years ago. The market is telling you something. When you hand cash to the previous owner of that 2006 Silverado, the transaction is finished. There is no cellular modem inside the dashboard pinging a server every 30 seconds. There is no software flag between the switch on your seat and the coil in the foam. You turn the dial and the heater warms up. You push the button and the air conditioning blows cold. You shift the lever and the four-wheel drive engages. Every system on that truck answers to you and only to you, from the day you sign for it to the day you sell it, with no ongoing permission required from anyone, anywhere. That is an increasingly rare proposition. Before you sign the purchase agreement on your next truck, ask the finance manager a few specific questions. Ask which features on the vehicle require an active subscription to operate. Ask what happens to those features when the subscription lapses. Ask whether the vehicle can be disabled remotely. Then watch how long it takes the manager to find the answer. If you are paying a monthly fee right now to use a feature on a vehicle you hold the title to, drop the make, the model, and the feature in the comments. Automakers are counting on each of us feeling like an isolated case, counting on us thinking this is just how things work now. Buy analog. Buy old iron. Buy the truck where the transaction ends the day you hand over the money. Hit subscribe before you go. Every week, we run the forensic audit that the dealership will never run for you. We will see you in the next one.